Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the District. I am Erick Allen, your commissioner for District 2. And today we have a good conversation about stormwater. A lot of you have already read about the stormwater fee, the code amendment coming up later this month in November. So wanted to kind of talk through it and hopefully give you some information as we move forward in this process. So to do that, I have with me our Director of Water, Judy Jones, who will kind of walk us through what to expect as we go into this process of stormwater utility. So Judy, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start off with, I know people are now talking about the stormwater utility. Kind of give us an idea of what is it and why is it needed in Cobb?
So the water system's been providing stormwater services since about 1995 when those services got transferred from community development to us. And so we provide a lot of stormwater services, but the way that we charge for it is through our water and sewer rates, and a lot of people don't really realize they're paying for stormwater services because they're kind of hidden in their rates. So our purpose of creating a stormwater utility is to be able to charge for stormwater separately and have a separate line item on the bill so that people can see exactly what they're paying for with respect to stormwater.
So it's really about transparency.
Yes.
And with this, not only will it be separate on the bill, but also be segmented from the rest of the fees you collect so it can be used specifically for stormwater.
That is correct. It will ensure that the money that we bring in for stormwater is actually used for stormwater.
That's good. And so what will it go toward repairing? Most people are like, stormwater, what is that? What is this going to go toward shoring up the infrastructure?
So it will help us with repairing pipes. The water system maintains pipes on residential properties that were installed when the subdivision went in and are in an easement and shown on the subdivision plat. So we have a lot of repairs that we can't get to and we're really behind. So this will help us have additional funding for that. It will also help us maintain detention ponds that we're responsible for. It will help us with being able to have a crew to actually do some in-house repairs. There's some repairs out there, maybe to just not an entire pipe, but a section, maybe the end of the pipe, that we're not getting to because it's not a lot of work for a contractor to roll a crew out to. They won't make enough money on, but it still needs to be repaired. But we don't have any in-house repair crews for stormwater right now. We have it for water and sewer, but not stormwater. So it would provide funding for us to have crews for that. And also provide funding to help DOT with their repairs of stormwater in the right-of-way. So DOT repairs all the stormwater infrastructure within the right-of-way, and the majority of that's paid for out of SPLOST, but they're running out of money and aren't able to keep up with their repairs either.
Now when you talk about the pipes, just to be clear, these are all underground, which means when they rupture, this is where we get some of those sinkholes and other things that create problems. So really shoring those up is a safety issue as well, not just a cosmetic and making sure we don't have floods.
That is correct. So majority of these pipes are made out of corrugated metal. So they rust and deteriorate over time or they separate. And so when that happens, yes, it can create a sinkhole when the soil from the surface falls in. We have, with the repairs that we need to do, pipe repairs, we have about 100 outstanding right now. And I think 69 of those are sinkholes on people's private property that they're waiting for us to come out and repair.
And so this will help kind of clear that backlog, give you the resources you need to, I don't want to say the word proactive because you can't kind of guess when these things come up, but as they come up, be able to get to them faster and better to make sure that we have safe, yards, streets, less sinkholes, throughout the county. So let's talk about the structure, because you mentioned earlier that most people are already paying for stormwater. Well, everyone's paying for stormwater. It's just kind of buried in the bill. What is this new structure going to look like, when this is rolled out?
Okay. So what we're proposing for residential properties is a flat $4.75 a month. For commercial properties, it would be a calculated rate based on the amount of impervious surface on the property as compared to a typical residential home, which the typical home in Cobb County, the median home in Cobb County is 3,700 square feet of impervious. So commercial properties would pay a prorated rate based on that $4.75 per 3,700 square feet of impervious surface.
Okay, so it's not going to be a full $4.75. That's not what people are going to see on their bill because there's also going to be that credit for what's now, I guess, lumped into their current water bill. It'll be kind of an offset.
There will be an offset. So they will see a line item for $4.75 on a residential property, but their overall bill won't go up $4.75 because we'll reduce the water and sewer rates. So most people don't know, we have actually two different rate structures. We have one rate that's lower for our customers that are in cities, because we don't, other than Mableton, we don't provide stormwater services in the other cities. We do provide it in Mableton and unincorporated Cobb. So those customers that we don't provide stormwater services to, they actually pay lower water and sewer rates. So if we implement a stormwater fee, then we would reduce the higher rates down to the lower rates. So there would be an offset. There's be a little bit of savings in the water and sewer, and then the $4.75.
Okay, and the reason those other cities take on, and I think it's 4 cities now that currently have a stormwater utility and have for some time. What cities are those?
That's correct. Actually, it's everybody except for Marietta.
And Mableton.
And Mableton. Well, Mableton is under us. So Ackworth, Austell, Kennesaw, and Powder Springs, and Smyrna already have a stormwater fee that they charge their
Okay, so this isn't anything new. This is something that's been out there. What's kind of delayed Cobb County from adopting this?
So this is something that Cobb County has looked at for many, many years. We actually started looking at this back in like 2005 was the first time that Cobb County looked at it. In the state of Georgia, people started looking at it the late 1990s and early 2000s is when these stormwater utilities started popping up and have continued. There's about 60 right now throughout Georgia. And like we said, quite a few already in Cobb. But it really has been just, I think, some confusion of citizens of not understanding what this is and why it's important and why we need it, and not understanding what the purpose is.
So is it safe to say, and maybe I'm taking a bit of a leap, but that it's not really a new fee, it's more of a restructuring is the way I look at it, because it's already something that's being collected. It's just being formalized and providing more accountability to the county. Is that fair to say that it's just kind of a restructuring of something that's already in place?
It is a restructuring of what's in place. We are asking to increase it for more than what we're getting now, because we're not able to keep up with our repairs and with all the other things that we do, that we provide for stormwater services. We do a lot more than just pipe repair. We have to maintain the county's stormwater permit with the state of Georgia. So there's a lot of things that we're required to do with respect to that. And so the funding we have now just doesn't keep up with the amount of work we have to do. So we're asking to change the way we're charging. So that's not a new thing, but we are asking to increase the amount we're charging as well so that we have more funding.
Okay. And if you are interested in having your voice heard on this, please come out. We have 2 public hearings. One will be on the 12th of November at 9 a.m. The other one will be at 6 p.m. on the 20th of November. Make sure you mark that date because it's different than our normal Board of Commissioners meetings because of the holiday. So it'll be on the 12th at 9 a.m. And on the 20th at 6 p.m. If you want to come out and make your voice heard on the stormwater. Before we wrap up, just a couple of quick curveballs I want to throw at you. So you weren't expecting these, but I think it's worth mentioning the incinerator project is moving forward. We're in the design phase, and for those that don't know, that's at the Sutton facility. Cobb used to have incinerators for wastewater and biosolids, and that's going to start back up. And I just wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of talk about why that's important to the county.
So we're very excited about this project. As you mentioned, we have existing incinerators at our Sutton plant. We actually turned them off quite a few years ago when the air permit requirements got more stringent and it was going to be expensive to upgrade them. At that time, it was less expensive to send to landfill, the biosolids. Now it's a lot more expensive to send it to landfill. Everywhere's running out of places to send it to biosolids to landfill. So starting up these incinerators, it's going to be a big upfront cost, but over the long term, we're going to get that money back, and this is going to be a much more efficient way to handle biosolids.
Well, thank you for explaining that. And also a point of privilege to, if you don't know, Judy has been with the county for 31 years. I was going to say 32, but 31 years. But January, she will be retiring. So I personally want to say thank you for all of your years of service to the county. Wish you well in retirement and look forward to seeing you around and maybe even bringing you back in for a couple of conversations, because we know how much you love Cobb County and how much you've done for this water system. So we appreciate you for that.
Thank you. I have worked here for 30 years and lived here for over 30 years. So Cobb County is my home, and I will continue to live here and support this county even through retirement.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you all for joining us on this episode of Inside the District. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.